Welcome to the Community Difference Plano, powered by the Difference Media LLC, and hosted by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, and also sponsored by Jacqueline Kreider with Financial Mastery Simplified, Christy Moe with Cohesive Confidence, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Cindy Durance with A Place at Home, Suzanna Austin with K9 Resorts, Audra Hooper with Audra Hooper Integrated Health, and by Kirk Hodgson with Assured Partners. The Community Difference Plano was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Plano starts now.
Debbie, you're muted.
Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Sorry about that technical difficulties. My name is Debbie Watson, and welcome to the Community Difference. This is episode 55, where we are firmly rooted in the intersection of community involvement and business development. Again, my name is Debbie Watson. I am the co-owner of Abrakadoodle alongside my husband, where we're passionate about bringing creativity to kids through fun, hands-on art experience. Whether it's in school, camps, or parties, we focus on helping children explore their creativity, learn through the process of art. I'm so excited to be here today. I am filling in for your regular host, Nathan Smith. And we have a great show lined up, as this is our last month on the topic of the month, which is building the right relationships to build your business, leveraging strategic networking to unlock untapped opportunities. So I'm going to bring in my first co-host today, Audra Hooper, who is a passionate health coach focused on helping busy individuals prioritize their well-being. She believes health is the key to living an empowered, joyful life and helps others incorporate healthy habits in their routine, whether through strength training or nutritional support, guiding them to discover their inner strength and truth. Welcome, Audra.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Great to see you. So,
Audra,
Audra, what are you looking forward to about this topic this month that we have?
Well, I think I'm most excited to hear from our guests today and for all of us entrepreneurs in this space to really learn how to uncover new opportunities for ourselves while just, living our lives and being genuinely who we are and sharing what we do.
I love that. So important to do work balance for sure. Well, let's bring in our next co-host, Suzanna Austin with K9 Resort of Plano. Offers award-winning pet care for highly trained professionals in their modern and impeccable maintained establishment. They offer supervised group play for both small dogs and large dogs, along with a diverse luxury boarding choice. They maintain the facility by adhering to a rigorous sanitation process to maximize the risk of illness. Welcome, Suzanna.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you today, Suzanna?
Doing great.
Well, what are you excited or looking forward to about this month's topic?
Much like Audra, I'm excited to hear what our guests have to say. I know a couple in particular that just are great networkers and relationship builders. And so I just want to listen to what they have to say so I can get on, ride those coattails.
Well, that's great. Well, let's bring in your guest, Audra Shaw who is the owner and
Amanda.
founder of the Barkday Plano, Texas, a premier pet event planning company. What started as a leap from a PhD program to managing a pet resort has turned into a thriving business dedicated to creating unforgettable celebrations for pets and their people. With a passion for celebrating her own furry babies, Amanda is now a go-to expert in the pet event industry, offering personalized, one-of-a-kind parties and events for pets, businesses, and nonprofits. Welcome, Amanda.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
No, we're so glad. I'm so looking forward to getting to know you a little bit more. So PhD program to a pet event. That's amazing. So what are you looking forward to today's topic?
I think, for one, I just love networking. I think building the different types of relationships that come from meeting new people, new businesses is just a really great way to not only expand yourself and build your business, but also build meaningful connections that may come about later on that you didn't even think would come back to you, that create something new for you as well.
That's awesome. Well, let's bring in Audra's guest, our last guest, and our only man today. So let's be easy on him. We'll have Lyndon in the background as our producer, but we have Jacob Millican, founder of 9N, is a fee-only registered investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in investment management, tax planning, and estate planning. He helps clients achieve their financial goals with personalized strategies to protect assets, minimize taxes, and ensure effective wealth transfer. Welcome, Jacob.
Hello, how are y'all?
Doing great. So, Jacob, you feel comfortable with 4 other women today?
That's completely fine.
Looking forward to the topic today.
Networking did not come naturally for me. So, from a business standpoint of, finding the right mixes of who to contact, who to reach out for, and it was a process. I'll just put it that way. So, it's always good to kind of share those things, because from different industries, you can always pick up things that you can then implement to your world.
Exactly. Well, everyone, we're so excited to dive into it, but what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to have our section, What's Up Plano? So we're going to talk about what's going in Plano, and we even have a special guest with Alex that Suzanna is going to introduce with a nonprofit and share some of the great things that they're doing in the community of Plano. So let's take a commercial break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
The Community Difference Plano is made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Jacqueline Kreider with Financial Mastery Simplified, Christy Moe with Cohesive Confidence, Suzanna Austin with K9 Resorts, Audra Hooper with Audra Hooper Integrated Health, Cindy Durance with A Place at Home, and by Kirk Hodgson with Assured Partners. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Plano?
Oh, welcome back. It is that time for What's Up Plano that is brought to you by Love and War of Plano. Get ready for an experience of true heart of Texas at Love and War with savory, authentic Texas cuisine from barbecue and wild game to Gulf seafood, all while enjoying live music from some of Texas' best artists. Whether you're craving the test of the Lone Star State or looking for a fun night out, this iconic spot has it all. We will actually be there tomorrow for our monthly Business Development Alliance Lunch and Learn. that we have it at once a month on the fourth month. And so we are looking forward to our guest speaker this month, which is City Congressman Shelby Williams. He is a great friend of our show and of Plano. So please, though, seats are limited. It is filling up. I mean, last month we had over 50 people, so we would love to have you come out. It's just a great time to listen to people. We'll be discussing about the topic. So be sure and go out, scan that QR code on our website so that we can get you invited to that event. Then we also have another event coming up that we are partnering with the American Legions. That will be May 31st. It is a job fair for veterans. So if you know of any veterans that are looking for jobs or any businesses that are looking to hire veterans, we encourage you to scan that QR code. We will have a special guest with Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, who will be speaking on that day. There will be fun things for the family. So this is a nice, fun event where a lot of times your veteran affairs and your job fairs are just for those. We are making this for the family. So there'll be a jump house for the kids. There'll be food, all that on that day. So would love for you to pass the word that we can serve our veterans who dear in heart to me, because my husband is a 20-year veteran. There is another job opportunity coming up in March. So the Plano Rec Center is going to have a job fair on the 12th. And that will be, they're offering more than just a paycheck. They offer flexible schedules, competitive pay, free work attire, paid training and certificates. So an opportunity to grow. They'll have part-time and summer positions. They will be conducting the interviews on site. So if you're wanting to do the swimming position, you'll need to bring your swimsuit and bring an ID, and there's 2 different IDs. So that will be going on. And then in March, starting March the 12th, actually Abrakadoodle will be having a camp that starts at the Stephen Terrell Rec Center. That Stephen Terrell Rec Center is in Allen, but very close to the border of Plano and Allen. We will start with our twosies, doodlers is what we call our mini, it's ages 20 to 36 months. That will be at 10 o'clock and will go for 5 weeks. And then we have our mini doodlers, that's 3 to 5. And those will start at 11 for 50 minutes. And then March 25th, we will start with our doodlers, which will be from 6 to 12 years of age, starting at 5:30. So spread the word. We'd love to have more people sign up and have those fun events. So I am going to turn it over to Amanda. Amanda had some things that she wanted to share about an upcoming event.
Yes, so we have an upcoming event in April. I know it's a little farther out, but it's our annual Easter party for the community. It's a little outside going towards Uptown, but it is at Uptown Pup. It's a fun community event, a lot of local vendors, Easter Bunny photos, some snacks and things on site for both humans and pups as well. And so that's going to be April 12th. It's on a Saturday.
Awesome. Well, next we'll bring up Suzanna. I know she had something to share, and then she's going to introduce a special guest that we have on for the WhatsApp that's going to share about her local nonprofit. So go ahead, Suzanna.
Well, at the resort, we are regularly trying to help with the local rescues in emergency situations where they can't find a foster or a permanent home. They've asked us to help with boarding. So we have four doggies that we're fostering right now. One in particular is a sweet little shepherd mix boy who just came in a couple weeks ago. He's 8 months old. He is a love, and he is looking for his forever home. His name is Sharky.
Oh, awesome. Well, if you want to introduce Alex, we'll go ahead and bring up Alex.
Yes. I also have with me today Alex, who is the director and owner of the Lullaby House. It's located actually in South Dallas, which is a ways away, but they are only one of 3 facilities in Texas that offer the type of help that the Lullaby House does. I used to work as a case manager with Alex, so we've known each other for quite some time. I now sit on the board of the Lullaby House because their mission and what they're doing is something that I feel very passionate about as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Alex, and I'm going to let her explain a little bit about what the Lullaby House's mission is and what they do.
Well, first of all, thank you guys so much for having me this morning. I'm always excited to share about the mission of the Lullaby House. The Lullaby House mission is to provide programs and services to teenage parents and families in need that will inspire and promote generational change. Where teenage pregnancy is decreasing and has decreased, it's still very high in Texas and definitely in Dallas-Fort Worth. And so what the Lullaby House does is provide these programs and services, not only assist them during pregnancy, but also after the child is born. Oftentimes, they don't know how to access the resources, and it really is a limited number of resources that helps them after the child is born. The Lullaby House operates 2 programs. We have a housing program for teen moms and their babies that are in foster care, and we are the only facility in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that takes in teens under the age of 18. And so with us, we're also the only housing program that provides long-term housing. All of the other maternity homes have temporary housing from either 6 months to 2 years, but they can stay with us until age 23. But we also have a community-based program in which we go into the community and provide diapers, wipes, baby accessories, clothing, anything that a family needs, not only teenage parents, that a family needs in order to ensure that they have the things that they need for their family. The Lullaby House operates in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. However, we go all over the Metroplex and hold these diaper drives. We partner with churches, other nonprofit organizations. We have a plethora of partners that we work with in order to make sure that we can meet the needs of our clients in the Dallas Metroplex.
So, Alex, let me ask you, how can the community help your organization? Is there volunteering? Is it donations? How's the best way to help?
We're just like any nonprofit. The best way that you guys can help is always monetary, because the main source of income for most nonprofits is donors and donor support. But we can always use volunteers. I mentioned we do community events like the diaper drives, but we also host back to school drives. We did 2 toy drives for Christmas. We do a turkey giveaway for Thanksgiving. We do something for Mother's Day. So there's always opportunities to volunteer. And you can also volunteer in our office location, which is in Dallas, where we sort donations, and we have a boutique in which families can come in and shop after they take our educational classes. We offer educational classes online, and we offer those in English and in Spanish, and they can range from anything from parenting classes, child development, financial literacy, whatever a family needs to thrive. And once they take those classes, they earn what we call Lullaby House bucks, and they can shop in our boutique. So there's various opportunities for individuals and businesses to come and volunteer, but we're always looking for donor support and people to support our mission.
So how would people get in contact with you? Or even if we know of someone that might be in need, how do we get in contact with you?
They can always go to our website. Our website is www.lullabyhouses.org, and all the information is on there. If they want to donate, they can donate from that page. If they want to get in touch with us, if they want to partner with us and host a diaper drive, they can also get in touch with us that way. We're on all the social media channels, and so they can also contact us through social media, and they can follow us on social media to find out about our community events, when we're opening, when our office is open and things like that, in order to support.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and hopefully that got the word out to the community that there is a place for those that are needing, yes, but also how we can help as a community. So yes, great. Well, thank you so much, Alex, for being here. We're going to take a commercial break.
All right.
And when we get back, we're going to go start talking about our topic, building the right relationships to build your business, leveraging strategic networking to unlock untapped opportunities. We'll see you back soon.
The Community Difference would like to thank each of the following partners for their continued support. At Fireboss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details.
Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, Fireboss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit firebossrealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
Now back to the show.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Now this is our topic of the month. So let's dive in with some questions. Now, let me ask Amanda, what changes can you make to transform your networking into an ecosystem that really generates continuous opportunities, would you say?
I would say putting yourself out there. Honestly, I know it's sometimes hard and scary to go up to people at events or at different, places when you are meeting them in community places, but really and truthfully, just introducing yourself, making, it known that you're interested in what they do, you're interested in what they offer, and try to think of ways that you can collaborate with them when you follow up, or if you reach out to them via, social media or email. It's really, in my opinion, just about continuously putting yourself out there, and you never know who you're going to meet and what's going to come of it.
No, I think that's super important. I think because a lot of times you go to networking meetings and it's all about exchanging numbers or not really numbers, your cards, and do we always follow up with those? So I think to your point, maybe even go a little bit deeper on how those conversations you usually lead, where they don't come across transactional, but more in that you're wanting to get to know them on a personal basis to really be able to collaborate.
Definitely. Just be yourself, be personable, introduce yourself. One of the biggest things that happened to me when I was out of town for a conference was I didn't know that individual, we lived in the same metroplex, had no idea, didn't ask at the time, didn't say where I was from. And thankfully, she did follow up and she remembered my business and my card. And so maybe even introducing like what part of town you're in, or if you're out of state, what city you're in, because they may also have a colleague or a friend who's looking for something within your niche that they could pass along that information. So sky's the limit whenever you are introducing yourself. Just name what you're doing, interest in them, asking them some key questions, and also where you're located.
Amanda, I love that. Couple of things. It seems, and I don't know you, this is awesome to get to know you on a platform like this. You seem like this comes very naturally to you. And I think a lot of our younger generation have an easier time with like, hey, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to post on social media or have a TikTok, and you gain followers and people feel like they get to know you even if you don't have a personal connection with them just yet. I'd be really interested to hear your advice, and then also pivot this to Jacob, because maybe it doesn't come as natural for all of us. And it's something we really have to work at to learn how to put ourselves out there in a genuine way and make those connections. So what would your advice be to somebody, Amanda, if they're not naturally as extroverted as maybe you are?
That's funny you say that. I'm actually not super extroverted. I've just learned how to do it over the years, and like that scarcity kind of mindset, and that, are we going to connect? Are they going to feel like it's a genuine connection, or are they going to like my business? Because that was really hard for me for a while, being so unique. So one of the things that I did was I practiced introducing myself to myself. Honestly, I just kind of went through those things before I'd go to a conference. I knew I would be nervous. I'm not super comfortable in-person settings sometimes. I'm a little awkward. And so for me, that was one thing that helped me, just like talking through it while I was making the dogs breakfast or while I was on the plane or things like that. And also writing out some key notes, like on maybe just your notes app on your phone, and just kind of go through those key points before you're going to go to a networking event or a community event. That way you just feel a little more confident and comfortable when you're doing those introductions. And maybe, for me, the easiest way for me to feel a bit more comfortable is when we start talking and I introduce my business and they ask me about my dogs, similar if they ask you about your kids, and then you can connect on a level that is mutual. That sometimes will kind of break the ice too and help you feel a bit more in your comfort zone.
I love that, because I think it is key. If they aren't asking you, you ask them, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Kids, they love to talk about their dogs, the things that are meaningful to them, more than just their sales pitch. So I love that you worked on this, and it maybe isn't as natural as it's good for you. Jacob, that was my question for you. You said that this networking is something that necessarily comes naturally for you. So how have you
and with your speaker
out there in your own genuine way and make those connections?
It's funny. Amanda mentioned several things that definitely do work for us, or that are less extrovert. Practice is a lot of that. And as silly as it can be, going through your spill in a mirror and, kind of hearing how it comes off, or the worst version of that is recording yourself and seeing how you come off, and all your little ticks and this, that, and the other. So that's, those can be kind of a tough way. But, I also agree with Amanda. For me, it was just kind of putting yourself out there. So in my world, connecting with estate attorneys and CPAs, the old school getting on a phone and just calling them. And you'd be shocked these days how many people, it's like nobody calls me anymore. So that, even starting from there, and then, not trying to make it about, what clients do you have, or, being more informational. So, there's things that I do that I need them, and there are things that, they'll need some of my services. So, trying to pass along things that are timely, or legislation changes, or any of those things where, we can kind of share. And, if those things do come up with a client, is, hopefully I'm top of mind. But that's, you just kind of have to grin and bear it and get out there and do it sometimes.
Get more comfortable. But I like how you said, you're offering something of value. So you're not just being transactional, like, hey, this is what I do, let me know if you ever need this service, but you're being relational and you're bringing something of value that's a little bit more meaningful than that transaction.
But I really think that's super important, Jacob, in your business, because like we talked about earlier, it is very competitive. So you do kind of have to stand out differently in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, just being top of mind, because I struggled early on, even having other advisors in my network, because, it's kind of like everybody's competition. But, as I've been in the industry for longer, you realize that not everybody you come across is going to be necessarily a perfect fit for my business, but they may be a perfect fit for somebody else's. So, I've through the years kind of opened up to even that of, kind of looking at, other advisors as potential sources. And, I've gotten one here or there kind of coming the other way to me as well. So, but that's kind of a tough thing to do in the beginning, because you're, everybody's competition. You want every client, but you kind of come to a place where, that's not going to be the main focus, is, trying to open up that network and make sure that, everybody knows that you're available and kind of what you do and what you don't do even.
How is it that you said your industry is very competitive? I too am in a very saturated industry here in the Plano area. We've found out the hard way, but standing out, because we're not known yet, or as known as some of the other resorts that have been longstanding. What have you done to make your clients know that you are their best bet?
That personal touch is, that's all it can be, because I'm competing with Fidelities and Schwab's and everybody else, and so you're not going to out offer any of those types of firms.
Right.
So having that ability to have a personal touch, that you know them, that you understand them, that you're all about what we're trying to accomplish, and not, again, trying to sell them something or anything like that. That's part of it. And then these days, digitally, making sure that your Google is in order, and you have reviews. And my industry has just changed here in the last year or two, where we can actually now ask for Google reviews, where that before that was something that was kind of frowned upon. So, but I'm the same way as anybody else. I check out a new business, the first thing I'm going to do is look them up and see what those reviews look like, whether it be food or anything else. So I think that's a huge part of it. And that's not an overnight thing though either. So it's it's kind of a constant process of making sure everything's out there. And of course, then Google changes their rules every 3 weeks, so you have to kind of stay up on what puts you out in front too. So yeah.
So let me ask you guys, how can a give first networking approach transform your relationship and lead to more meaningful opportunities, would you think? Anyone want to share, Amanda?
Sure. Sorry, I was muted still. I would say, I'm going to give an example. So I went to a conference in Chicago, and they had a rescue on site, was chatting with the ladies, knew nothing about this rescue, and the organization next door was for families that were dealing with canine cancer. So they could help them when they're going through the journey. Started chatting with them, got their contact information, didn't think anything of it. And then a few weeks later, I got a event inquiry from one of those ladies. I didn't even hardly speak to her. Now she's become a repeat client year after year. We've had the organization as one of our spotlight organizations at our annual event that we host for the community. And they're based out of Chicago. So they're not even in Texas at all or near us. But because I went over, I asked them more, I was intrigued to understand because I had never heard of them. They also helped me with my own cancer journey with one of our dogs. So it was kind of like a full circle moment. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know where that relationship in the community is going to kind of come from, and how you can kind of continue to refer people to them, or likewise, the back and forth mutual relationship with it. So just an example of something that you wouldn't ever think you were going somewhere for something totally different. And it not only kind of fueled you, because I love giving back and being a part of rescue stuff in our community. So not only did it kind of fuel that fire for me, but it also ended up being that relationship where she became a client too.
So aside from that one client, I can imagine that opened up some untapped opportunities for you.
It did.
That is
It
a
did.
whole region, new people, all because of that one genuine connection that you made. Now you unlocked a whole new area that you didn't
Exactly. She's referred a few different clients to me for different services. People within the board on that nonprofit have purchased our handmade party hats, and it built an even better connection with a local pet photographer that I had started working with, but not too much. She actually wanted her to be the photographer at her event that we were putting on, because they had worked together before. Now me and her are business partners, and we offer exclusive services to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So it was a really big full circle from one person at an event I never thought I would meet.
Yeah. And when you really connect and you build that rapport and trust, they want to collaborate with you. They want to build relationship with you. You know, they want to support you because now they've become a champion of yours, and you built this whole network, spider web almost.
Yes. Yeah. And you don't even think you're doing it. And then it just starts building itself.
Those are the best opportunities. Yeah. Not going in with this mindset of what am I going to get? You're just making a connection.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's awesome. Jacob, what about you? How can a give first networking approach transform your relationships and lead to more meaningful opportunities? Can you think of, a time that's happened for you?
It's over the last couple of years, or I guess 2 or 3 years, not networking outside of my clients, but networking within my client base of, because you get to know these people in their lives, and, they've been business owners, they've been different things, they have different expertise, and, just kind of keeping your ear open to, what they're doing, and, maybe I can share that information with somebody else. And so strangely enough, over this last year of doing reviews, I had like 4 or 5 clients that were either looking at solar on their house, or and so ended up with a couple that had done it and had some names, was able to kind of refer business. But those types of things, just kind of listening and being open, and to again, have nothing really anything to do with my business, but people looking for services, and having some feedback for them one way or the other. Solar, strangely, solar was one that popped up time and time again last year, but all kinds of services, or even had a business owner that got some business from another client, again, just kind of a random deal. But I think just keeping open to that kind of stuff, and realize not just around you, but the people that you work with, or maybe your everyday clients, not necessarily refer new clients, but you helping them out as well.
Yeah, I mean, working in a health space, I find that as well. It's like, maybe I don't have all the answers, but I have connections and people that I know can help you heal, or get to the next level that you're looking for, an injury that you might have that you need to overcome. And the more that I'm just genuinely helping you get better, even if it doesn't financially impact me, is providing value, and it's good all the way around, right? Your client sees that you genuinely care, but also these business relationships you're making, you're showing that you trust each other and you're top of mind with them because you've built that relationship. So
I was just going to say that I have a couple different relationships that I've made that their business has zero to do with dogs, but we have built a good enough relationship where they trust me, and they trust referring people over to us, and making other business connections as well. So we can other collaborative ways, so that we can, intertwine our client list and kind of build from there. It's been, the relationship aspect is it goes without saying, it's the most important part of networking.
I think that is so true. It's like, if you're that go-to person, you know, they know, oh, Debbie has a person. And it makes it nice when people come knocking on your door and I can say, nope, I have a person. So, well, let me ask one more question before we take a break. Is there a way that your current business relationships contribute to making a positive difference in the community? And Amanda, I know that you work with some nonprofits. So, you know, how are ways that your current business relationships contribute to making a positive difference in your community, would you say?
I would say we work with a lot of rescues. And so one of those is really promoting the adoptable pets that they have, building up their volunteer list to see who can come in and help with volunteering at their facilities if they have one, or fostering. I know a lot of rescues are in need of foster homes. And so if they can get people from these events that we collaborate with them to not only bring in monetary donations, which is great, but find new fosters, find new volunteers, that's really, really huge. And recently we did a puppy bowl tailgate event with Chewy and Cuddly. And the rescue we had, we just asked for people to bring tailgate food and treats for the rescue. And they had probably 2 cars full of bags of dog food, cat food, and treats that they could utilize for the foster parents and new, you know, pups that come in at any time. So that was really, really great to be able to see different ways that we can contribute to those rescues in the community in that way.
That's awesome. Jacob, how about you? Is there anything that you currently do that you kind of make a difference in the community?
The last couple of years, I've partnered with the Dallas Bar Association. They do an event where they do pro bono work. They do it a couple times a year, I guess. And so I kind of joined up with doing that, and basically setting up a table at their event where do some pro bono work, and just try to help people to, really kind of get on a path. Because a lot of times that's the biggest step or the hurdle, if you will, of getting on the right path is just sitting down and doing it. So that has been something I've done for the last couple of years. It's a nice way to be involved and touch some people that maybe wouldn't necessarily reach out to me otherwise.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's awesome, guys. Well, this has been a great topic and loved all your input. So we're going to take a commercial break, and we come back. We're going to go to what's the difference, which we'll still kind of stay on the subject, learn a little bit more, but I'll ask you some question. What's the difference? So let's go to commercial, and we'll be back in a moment.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
And now it's time for What's the Difference?
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. We are excited to be on What's the Difference? So I'm going to go around and just ask each of you a different question and just share your thoughts. There's no right or wrong answer. It's totally your thoughts. And then we'll kind of look at what the definition is of the topic. But Amanda, I'm going to pick on you and start with you first. What's the difference between networking and ecosystem building, would you think?
I would say they kind of go hand in hand, in my eyes at least. But networking is you going out trying to find and or speak to others that you want to build a connection with, right? You're networking yourself, but also networking within them. And then the ecosystem is kind of like what I talked about before, where you're creating a network within a network of those meaningful connections, whether they're transactional or they're a little different, like Jacob was saying, giving references to clients that aren't even in your business or realm, but really creating a network within a network is what stands out to me when you're creating your ecosystem.
I think very similar to what it's saying. If in here, network is about meeting people, which, we're just meeting people initially, but the ecosystem building is about creating a structured network where multiple parties collaborate for mutual growth. So if you find the right people, you have your ecosystem.
Exactly.
Sometimes people are only about transactions. And so they meet you, you have a transaction you never see again. Well, you're not really collaborating. So we're not helping both of us grow mutually. So yeah. Well, Audra, what is the difference between strategic partnership and a collaboration?
Let's see. To me, when you collaborate with someone or another business, it could be temporary. It could be short-lived. Maybe, for example, in my industry, I might do a wellness fair. So I might put my head together with somebody else putting on this wellness fair, and that's it. It may not last forever. Strategic partnerships are something more long-term. You're really building that relationship. It may start with a collaboration and go deeper from there, but I would look at it as more of a long-term. Like collaboration could be the networking and the seeing, do we fit? But strategic partnerships is that ecosystem that you're building.
Right. Yeah. So the dictionary says strategic partnerships are long-term alliances with shared objectives, while collaboration are often short-term or just project-based. Exactly what you had said on there. So yeah. Suzanna, what's the difference between transactional networking and relationship-driven networking, would you say?
I think it sounds just like what you said. One sounds so cold, and the other one is is sort of a warm. You're actually building a relationship, building a back and forth where there's some giving and taking on both ends, and both of you are mutually benefiting from that networking. For instance, Amanda and I have collaborated on a couple of different things, and she's invited me to some of her things. I've invited her to some of my things, and one transaction between the two of us has led to almost a year later, we're still chatting. That's definitely a relationship and not just a one-off, thank you, it was a great day. It's very similar to collaborating. You shook hands, you introduced yourselves, and then it just kind of fizzled from there, where a relationship continues to bring you more opportunity and trust within that relationship.
No, exactly. I mean, here it says transactional networking focus on quick wins and immediate gains, while relationship-driven networking prioritizes trust and long-term benefits. And, I totally have an example of that one that has really helped my business, and having someone on the show that had before we bought our franchise with the art, but had her on the show, learned about her school, the Acton Academy, learned about her school, but we continued a friendship. I've helped out with their school, different things. And now she's become a great partnership where she even gives me the ability to use her school if I needed it for art camps. And we've continued on, and she's introduced me to someone else who's now a co-host on the show. And so it's great when you build those relationships, for sure. Okay, Jacob, what's the difference between individual success and ecosystem success? I thought this was good for you because you're kind of, in that individual, but I know, you have to build that ecosystem. So what would you say the difference between individual success and ecosystem success?
Well, for me, that individual success is obviously just my own. But for these relationships, you have to realize that the individuals are probably going to be quicker. The ecosystem takes longer to build. Gaining trust both ways, whether I be sending clients or they be sending clients to me, that takes time. And so, being intentional about what you're trying to do. But the ecosystem definitely takes a longer view, and building that out, and that's more of a team over time versus just an individual quick win, if you will.
Exactly. So here it says entrepreneurs focus on ecosystem success, often scale faster in building strong brand loyalty than those that just focus solely on individual achievement. So I'm going to ask one more, but we're just going to ask it for everyone, so everyone can answer. So transactional networking. Excuse me if I can get this out. What's the difference between? Let me find a good one here. It's like, okay, here we go. What's the difference between competition and collaboration in business growth? What's the difference between competition and collaboration in business growth? Who wants to go first?
Collaboration is the team effort, where competition is the opposite of that. You're sort of working to win and be the better of the two.
I think for a mindset, it just boils down to scarcity mindset. If you feel like there's limited opportunities out there, then you're more competitive with the people around you, even within your own industry. And when you're more collaborative, you understand, we all rise together.
Same, I agree. I think there's healthy competition always, but when you collaborate and you can mutually say a client doesn't fit for your business, but the like business does, you can have that great collaborative relationship and maybe gain clients as well when you collaborate with others.
Jacob, any last thoughts on that?
The being able to collaborate is in the long term going to bring more to you than you ever would trying to go out there and be competitive versus every single else that's out there. There's just, especially in DFW, there's just too much competition if you look at it that way. And so, again, being intentional about the people that you want to work with, being intentional, but your value that you're bringing them in the long term should help you out as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty well even what this is saying. Competition assumes a scarcity mindset. Audra used the word, where business fight for the same resources, while collaboration assumes abundance, where businesses leverage each other's strengths to expand. And I totally know this is something that I've learned over the last year and a half through a lot of the business development that I've got through this show. Is I always had that competition mindset of, oh, no, I don't want to talk to this insurance agent. Or I want to, where if you really learn about each other in their own business, that we all have different strengths and that we can collaborate so much better than trying to be in competition. And it makes it so much nicer when you go to a networking that you're not trying to avoid people, that you can actually introduce yourself and feel that, hey, we can work together. And it will point out for those that are in that mindset of competition if they don't want to talk to you. So I just think it's super important. So
I think it helps you cast a wider net, right?
Yeah, we have benefited most definitely from some of our so-called competitors being one of the new kids on the block. We have we received several referrals from some of the other pet hotels around us, and we appreciate them.
Well, awesome. This has been great. So we're going to go into our last topic where we're going to dive a little bit deeper into our guests, because I can't wait to hear a little bit more about you guys and where you chose your industry, or how you chose your industry, and even what brought you to Plano, if you're in Plano or close to the area. So we're going to take our final commercial break. When we come back, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into Jacob and Amanda and learn a little bit more about them.
The Community Difference would like to thank each of the following partners for their continued support. At Fireboss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details. Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, Fireboss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit firebossrealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
Now back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. So, I guess we lost some people are coming back. There we go. So, Jacob, we'll start with you first. I see in your background in investment management and tax planning, you clearly have a passion for helping clients navigate complex financial decisions. How do you balance your work with your personal life, especially with your 2 young kids at home? And how does that influence your approach to financial planning for families?
Well, it is a balance for sure. I think like a lot of business owners, I use a calendar that I block off things. And for me, that means blocking off time for kids and dinner and all that kinds of stuff. Because as a business owner, if you let yourself, you will work 24 hours a day. And so, turning it off and keeping it off and not checking emails and, not checking all the different things and, being focused for your kids and listening to all their little stories and drawings and everything else so being present, I think, is the biggest part of that. But it is a struggle, because anytime there's a client email or a prospect email, you want to be the first one to answer it. So making sure that you kind of set aside the time. And for me, that was literally just blocking off and saying I'm not going to do that right now. So
I love that, Jacob, because I have 2 kids myself. They're just a little bit older than yours. And I found that, in the entrepreneur space, you can just work 24/7, right? You always have your phone with you and it can be a distraction, but it's awesome to be able to prioritize the kids. And one of the things I did when my kids were your kids' age was I took Wednesday night, and I always said it was just family night. We'd turn off our phone, we'd play a game. We didn't book anything, we didn't schedule anything. We'd either do a movie night or a game night. So that's awesome. Another thing I found, which maybe you do too, I think you said your kids do dance and swim. Do you find that just living your everyday life and making those connections with other parents, that what you do ends up coming up in conversation, and it's almost a natural way to network and unlock new opportunities inadvertently because you're just living your life and doing the things you love to do?
Yeah, it's daycare parents. My oldest is now in kindergarten, but we were there for 5 years, so you do get to know some of the other parents and birthday parties every weekend and all that kind of stuff. So everybody's going through the same challenges and life things, and so again, you never kind of want to approach this as handing out business cards, but as you get to know people and it always comes up, what do you do? And so it's always a way to share, I will say.
Well, yeah, because it's an overwhelming topic for a lot of people, but it's something we all need, right? We all need our health. We all need strong finances. So when they trust you, I'm sure they feel a lot more comfortable asking some of those insider questions that, you can answer for them.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Amanda, one for you. With 6 furry children at home, and I don't know how yours are being all so quiet when I have one little one and I won't shut up right now. But and a love for throwing unforgettable pet parties. How do you balance your busy personal life with everything else that you're doing? How have you learned from your pets that influence your approach to work and life? Because we do learn from our pets.
We do. I always call them my built-in tomato timer, because literally when I'm feeling that stress and I'm needing to take a break, but I don't want to, they're like, all right, it's time to go outside. Or one of them gets up to get a drink and the rest are like, oh, we're moving, we're doing something, come out of the office. It's hard because I'm one of those workaholics where I could work 24/7. But because of the structure that I have for them with the times and the schedules for feedings and things like that, it helps me to take that hour to 2 hour break at times and be intentional with them. My mom also lives with us, so that also gives me time to be like, hey, Mom, I'm going to go outside. Do you want to come sit on the rockers and hang out and just get some fresh air, be with her, have some family time? My husband's schedule is extremely busy as well. And for the longest time, I worked during the week. He had to work weekends. Now I work on the weekends in the event scene, and he has a regular 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So we intentionally set date nights. We intentionally schedule vet visits based on days and times when we can both either take the afternoon or we can take them in the morning and then I go pick them up, things like that. It's been a challenge here and there with all of the things and their activities too. Some of them are in some fun, different activities that we do with them on the weekends. And so kind of picking mom and dad duties as well as him in his career and me with my business. It's a struggle, but we just have to set those times and those dates. I loved when Audra said every Wednesday. we've been kind of trying to do that with every Sunday afternoon. When we both have downtime, we spend it intentionally with them and with ourselves.
I love how dogs force you to take walks.
They do.
You know, being in the health space, it's like, well, you need to walk. Even a 15-minute walk is sometimes better than an hour-long walk. A couple 15-minute dogs make you do that.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yes, or make you take breaks, because I'm terrible. I'll sit at the computer forever, and my sugar will come in and start and just stare at me and put her paws up, and she's all excited because I have to go throw the toy for 5 or 10 minutes. So it's like, take a break, Mom, take a break. Suzanna, did you have a question?
No, I was just thinking about all of the different aspects of everybody's lives. My children are grown, the same as we were talking about earlier on. And I was just remembering the days when we had to cut where they were too young to leave alone. So our date nights were lunch dates or breakfast dates, or, you know, just different times where it was safer to leave the children at home unattended when they were kind of old enough to be left unattended. And now we have these dogs who keep us home more than the children did.
Yeah. Well, I do have a question, because I have to ask this, Amanda, is after making kind of what got you from changing what you were focused on for microbiology, I think, into the pet industry? What led to that change and shift in your life there?
I know, it's a crazy one. Honestly, it was doing a path that somebody else wanted me to do. It was the safe path. Science and medical was, you know, was always going to be around. I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do. As a young girl, I wanted to be a vet, but then as you grow older, you're like, I don't know if I could do that. And so I was in a small town, didn't know about all these other options in the pet industry. Plus, the pet industry really hadn't like super boomed yet with all of these specialty services and daycares and things. So I just went the route, got my microbiology degree, started my PhD in neuroscience, and I got into my third year. And it was just something that like clicked. My dad was super sick. I was spending 60 plus hours in a lab doing research and coursework, and I wasn't happy. And so I thought to myself, let's just start looking to see like what would make me happy. And that's when we had 4 dogs at the time. Instagram blew up with kind of pet accounts and things like that. Made one for my dogs, of course. Decided to throw a party for our golden doodle Teddy randomly with all these people I knew, none of their names off of Instagram. I only knew of their dogs. And it was like something was lit inside of me, like a fire like came about. And I couldn't stop thinking about, how could I make this into a business? What could I do with this? And so while I was doing experiments, I came up with a name, went and did a DBA, made like a horrible beginning logo on Canva, and just started doing these as small little hobbies with our dog mom group. And then I finally walked up to who was my future boss and told her I put in my resume to work at her pet resort if I could at all. She told me they would look at positions. They hired me. So I put in my leave of absence, went and started managing their daycare area at their newest facility, and then never went back. Decided to opt out and see if they'd give me my master's. So while I was working as the operations manager at the pet resort at the time, I was getting my master's in Galveston. And so it was this like whole crazy journey, but I realized doing it that science never made me happy. I just did it because I had spent all those years, blood, sweat, and tears doing it, getting the degrees, and that's the path I was supposed to do, right?
That's awesome. Jacob, let me ask you, looking at some of your background, you built 9M Investment with a focus of integrity and transparency, but as a sole practitioner, what's been one of the biggest challenges you faced in maintaining that personalized approach? And how has your love for reading, especially economics and market topics, shaped your strategies for your clients?
So as far as starting out as a solo, I had already been in the business for, I guess, 13, 14 years. So I've seen it done a lot of different ways. And for me, starting my own was to be able to do it my way, and be focused on people that need help, but also more customized to them. And, you know, being in the industry, what I saw firsthand was very kind of cookie cutter approaches. You know, everybody kind of fills into 3 or 4 paths, and you know, that's just not reality for anybody. Everybody has kind of their own thing, and so being able to do that and to build that with that focus, you know, it's an ongoing challenge, but that there's no going back though as well. I would never, at this point in my world, I would probably never ever work for somebody else again, because you know, why go back and you know, do it under somebody else's view on it. Now, you know, potentially there could be partnerships along the way, but at this point, you know, I'm very happy with of how I built this, and you know, the clients that I bring on, I think they see that and feel that, and you know, feel that you know, hopefully that they feel cared for it, and you know, that their goals are in good hands. But and then, you know, kind of the last part of it is you know, it's forever changing my industry. So, you know, kind of staying on top of things and reading is you know, the amount of education that I kind of look at it on a weekly basis is ongoing. I probably spend 6-7 hours a week on just kind of new educational, you know, what else is out there kind of topics, because it just forever changes. You know, I've been in it for over 20 years, and you know, from the day I got in to now, legislation changes alone have been significant, and you know, that's not going to change ever. And so it's an ongoing thing, but it also keeps it new and fresh. And you know, again, that's kind of what my people lean on me for, is to be in the know of that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it is a changing business. The market changes every day, as we know. So, well, guys, this has been a great show. It's been great to meet each and every one of you. I'm going to go around. We're just going to wrap the show up with a pretty bow here. And let me ask each of you just, you know, what's one takeaway that you got from the show today? So, Jacob, what's just one takeaway that you learned from the show today, or that you enjoyed?
Well, I just want to say thanks for having me. And then, you know, from a takeaway standpoint, it's, you know, again, I think somebody mentioned building that spider web. It's a longer process, but you know, having those different relationships out in that web is can always bring things towards you in the long run.
That's awesome. What about you, Amanda?
Thanks for having me today. I think one takeaway is just whenever me and Audra were talking a little bit about like me feeling so confident and comfortable in like ways that you can try to make yourself feel comfortable when you're networking. It was just a good takeaway because I hadn't ever done it in front of a mirror. So when Jacob said like sitting there in front of the mirror and doing it, your facial expressions too make the individual across from you feel comfortable or not comfortable, honestly. So I might have to practice my facial expressions now, because that was something I just talked to myself about it. But now I'm like, maybe I should see how I look when I'm presenting myself too.
Yes, exactly. What about you, Audra?
You know what? Just this last part of the conversation is speaking to my heart, because I totally believe that all of us will be infinitely more successful if we're following our core values, what's important to us, and finding our own voice and our own path. And I think once you've worked in an entrepreneurial setting and you've done things your own way, as difficult as it can be, it's so much more fulfilling and meaningful. And I don't know that you can ever go back and fit inside a box, so to speak, with somebody else telling you how things should be done, because that's how we really come alive. And I think others are drawn to that, and you're going to be more successful in the long run when you're leaning into your purpose and your passion.
100%. What about you, Suzanna?
I was just thinking that along the lines of the same thing is that I can't be put into a box. I am one of the most introverted extroverts you'll ever meet. I worked with kids for so long that I have a tendency to not be serious. So when I'm networking, I'm more of a jokester. So, and I've tried to kind of tone that down to be a little more professional, but that's not me. And so it's not genuine. And so I've just had to shift gears and turn into myself. And if I make you laugh and we connect that way, then we're going to be great together. So
that's awesome. Well, guys, it is a wrap. We are right on the time of it. Thank you so much for today. I will be on the Frisco show tomorrow, as I'm normally a co-host there, but it was such a privilege to be able to host with my co-hosts and our guests. So you guys have a wonderful day. We'll be back here next month with a new topic.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Plano was made possible by Nathan Smith with the Entwego Group, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Jacqueline Kreider with Financial Mastery Simplified, Christy Moe with Cohesive Confidence, Suzanna Austin with K9 Resorts, Audra Hooper with Audra Hooper Integrated Health, Cindy Durance with A Place at Home, and by Kirk Hodgson with Assured Partners. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference.